Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another round of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this works is you get to help pick my TBR. So I react to a book haul from over 3 years ago, and I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled the book, and you get to vote on the book or books you want me to read in the upcoming month. So out of all of the books that I still own that I have not read, you'll vote. And depending on the number of those books, I will determine how many that I have to read. So if I have 1 to 10 unread, then I'll have to pick the number 1 voted book. If I have 11 to 20, I'll have to pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. So this month we are doing 3 Have I Read It's. I've already filmed the previous 2, and today we are going to be reacting to my another April book haul. And I think it says in the thumbnail that there's like 11 books. So fingers crossed I've read most of them, which has not gone my way the past 2 videos. But I'm pretty sure I won't have to read more than 1. Just because there's only 11 books here. Unless I haven't read a single one of them and I haven't unhauled any of them, we should only have to pick 1. Unless I've read all of them, and then I don't have to pick any. Okay, let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. I have another April book haul for you, so stay tuned. So I have 11 more books to haul for you for April, so I'm just going to get right into this. If you would like to check out one of these for yourselves, I will link all of them down in the description below. Let's just get right to it though. The first book I have here is American Panda by Gloria Chow. I'm pretty sure that I still own this and haven't read it, but let me double check. Okay, I do still own it and I have not read it. This says, at 17, May should be in high school, but skipping 4th grade was part of her parents' master plan. Now a freshman at MIT, she's on track to fulfill the rest of this predetermined future, become a doctor, marry a pre-approved Taiwanese Ivy Leaguer, produce a litter of babies. With everything her parents have sacrificed to make her cushy life a reality, May can't bring herself to tell them the truth, that she, 1, hates germs, 2, falls asleep in biology lectures, and 3, has a crush on her classmate, Darren Takahashi, who is decidedly not Taiwanese. But when May reconnects with her brother, Chang, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, Xing, who is estranged from the family for dating the wrong woman, May starts to wonder if all the secrets are truly worth it. Can she find a way to be herself, whoever that is, before her web of lies unravels? So if you want me to read this, vote American Panda. All right, next up. Next up, we have The Coincidence of Coconut Cake by Amy E. Reichart. I don't know if I've unhauled this one or not. I know I haven't read it. Okay, I do still own this one. This says, you've got mail meets How to Eat a Cupcake in this delightful novel about a talented chef and the food critic who brings down her restaurant, whose chance meeting turns into a delectable romance of mistaken identities. In downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Lou works tirelessly to build her beloved yet struggling French restaurant, Luella's, into a success. She cheerfully balances her demanding business and even more demanding fiancé until the morning she discovers him in the buff with an intern. Witty yet gruff British transplant Al is keeping himself employed and entertained by writing scathing reviews of local restaurants in the Milwaukee newspaper under a pseudonym. When an anonymous tip sends him to Luella's, little does he know he's arrived on the worst day of the chef's life. The review practically writes itself. Underdone fish, scorched sauce, distracted service, he unleashes his worst. The day that Al's mean-spirited review of Luella's runs, the two cross paths in a pub, Lou drowning her sorrows, and Al celebrating his latest publication. As they chat, Al playfully challenges Lou to show him the best of Milwaukee, and she's game, but only if they never discuss work, which Al readily agrees to. As they explore the city's local delicacies and their mutual attraction, Lou's restaurant faces closure, while Al's column gains popularity. It's only a matter of time before the two fall in love, but when the truth comes out, can Lou overlook the past to chase her future? Set in the lovely, quirky heart of Wisconsin, the coincidence of coconut cake, not chocolate, is a charming love story of misunderstandings, mistaken identity, and the power of food to bring two people together. So if you want me to read this, vote The Coincidence of Coconut Cake. All right, next up. Next up we have The Next Person You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. I have recently unhauled this one. So I read the first book. This was like the second book in the series. I read the first book and really enjoyed it. And this was sitting on my series shelf in my master bedroom. And I recently went through and I was like, which of these series do I actually want to continue reading? And took a bunch of series out and unhauled them. Because I was like, I really don't care to finish. So this was one of those. All right, next up. Also, I have a Katniss right here. She's all up in my way. And then I also have a Sasha right here. She's all up in my way. And there's cat hair just flying around everywhere. Okay, next up we have The Mermaid by Christina Henry. I'm pretty sure I have unhauled. Yeah. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I've unhauled this. Okay, I don't seem to have it marked as unhauled, but I feel like I kind of recently unhauled it. And if I haven't, I'm going to. So we'll just go ahead and say that's been unhauled. Because I found that I'm not really a big fan of her stories like this. They're not my kind of retellings. All right, next up. Next up we have The Truth About Happily Ever After by Carol Kozo. I'm not sure about this one. I have to check. That one has been unhauled. All right, next up. Next up we have Other Earth by Jason Segel and Kristen Miller. Okay, Other Earth is, gosh, I think that's book 3 in that series. So I've read book 1 of this, which is Otherworld, and I do still own and have not read Other Earth. However, I'm kind of feeling like that's probably one that I should have unhauled. Because looking at it, when I read, let me check my review. It looks like I only gave it 3 stars. Let's see. I said I liked it. I thought it was just an okay story. It did have a few unexpected twists, which are always nice. The second half is definitely better than the first half. The story is about this company that has developed this virtual reality world that's a bit too real. The company is up to some shady business, and our main character, Simon, is out to put a stop to it and save his friend, who might not want to be saved. It ended with a bit of a cliffhanger and left me wanting to read the next book, which unfortunately won't be out until fall 2018. I don't know how I feel about continuing this series. Part of me wants to just unhaul the whole series. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to go ahead and mark this as unhauled. And once I'm finished filming, I'm going to go ahead and get that series and unhaul it. Because obviously it's been since 2017 that I guess I read this book. And it's now 7 years later. Like, I read the first book 7 years later, and I've still not picked up the sequel. And it was something that I just said was just an okay book. So, yeah, I think I don't need to continue with that series, and I can get rid of it. So we're just going to mark that as unhauled. All right, next up. Next up we have In Some Other Life by Jessica Brody. I do still own and have not read In Some Other Life. Jessica Brody was one of our Season-a-thon authors. I'll actually link the live show with her up here if you want to go and check that out. So this book would be on my shelf downstairs with all of my Season-a-thon author books. This says, a fresh and funny young adult contemporary romance about how one different choice could change everything. 3 years ago, Kennedy Rhodes secretly made the most important decision of her life. She declined her acceptance to the prestigious Windsor Academy to attend the local public school with her longtime crush, who had finally asked her out. It seems it was the right choice. She and Austin are still together, and Kennedy is now the editor-in-chief of the school's award-winning newspaper. But then Kennedy's world is shattered one evening when she walks in on Austin kissing her best friend, and she wonders if maybe her life would have been better if she'd made the other choice. As fate would have it, she's about to find out. The very next day, Kennedy falls and hits her head and mysteriously awakes as a student at the Windsor Academy. And not just any student. Kennedy is at the top of her class, she's popular, has the coolest best friend around, and she's practically a shoo-in for Columbia University. But as she navigates her new world, she starts to wonder whether this alternate version of herself really is as happy as everyone seems to believe. Is it possible this Kennedy is harboring secrets and regrets of her own? Jessica Brody's In Some Other Life will keep readers guessing and find them cheering for Kennedy until the final page. So if you want me to read this, vote In Some Other Life. All right, next up. Okay, next up we have The Storyteller, Book 3 of the Reader Trilogy by Tracy Chee. I have read and still own The Storyteller. Yay. All right, next up. Next up we have The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. I don't know if I still own this one. Let me see. No, this is one that I have unhauled. All right, next up. Next up we have The Looking Glass by Janet McNally. I'm not sure about this one either. Okay, this is one that I still own and I have not read. This says, Girls in Trouble. That's what Sylvie Blake's older sister, Julia, renamed their favorite fairy tale book, way back when they were just girls themselves. Now Julia has disappeared, and no one knows if she's in trouble. Sylvia is trying to carry on Julia's impressive legacy at the prestigious National Ballet Theatre Academy, but Julia, ever the star of the show, can't stay hidden forever. And when she sends Sylvie a copy of their old storybook with a mysterious list inside, Sylvie begins to see the signs of her sister everywhere she goes. She may be losing her grip on reality, but Sylvie has to find out if the strange, almost magical things she's been seeing have anything to do with Julia's whereabouts. With the help of her best friend's enigmatic brother and his beat-up car, Sylvie sets out to the beat of a Fleetwood Mac playlist, determined to return to New York with her sister in tow. But what Sylvie doesn't expect to learn is that the trouble comes in lots of forms, and that the damsel in distress is often the only one who can save herself. So if you want me to read this, vote The Looking Glass. All right, next up. And then the last book I have here is Drumroll Please by Lisa Jen Bigelow. I have read, and I'm pretty sure I still own Drumroll Please. Let me double check on that. Yes, I gave it 4 stars. So yes, I do still own it. Okay, so those were all 11 books. I only had 4 that I had not read. So you can vote for American Panda, The Coincidence of Coconut Cake, In Some Other Life, or The Looking Glass. So just comment down below which book or books you would like me to read in the upcoming month, and I will pick the number 1 voted book. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!